I guess kind of a two-part question. How difficult has it been for you and your team, what y'all been through the last few days, and what is it like getting them ready? They kind of like a caged cougar, if you will, dying to get out there. How would you label all that, Dana?
It's not difficult. I don't think that's the right. I'm disappointed. I don't know how it gets to 22 hours before the game. We've had 4 games canceled, so we're kind of used to that. How it gets to 22 hours before the game, I don't know. I mean, there's a reason why our conference and the Big 12 test 3 times a week. So, I would think that our opponent kind of knows where they're at, just like we kind of knew where we were at, to the point to where it gets 22 hours before the game. We got 5 buses out there. We got hotels lined up. We got our equipment truck parked. Having to tell them that was disappointing. Okay. So we got back to work yesterday, and, it's okay to be disappointed. It's okay to be upset. But you can't hang on to it like that. So we buried it yesterday when we first got up here and lifted weights and started watching video on North Texas and went out there last night and had a good practice last night. So we're refocused and we're ready to go. We're not a whole lot different than about 50% of college football right now when it comes to haven't played a game yet, and we got 10 games on the schedule. So there's a lot ahead of us. So, we're ready. Knew we'd stay ready. And, it's game week, and we're in there prepping for North Texas, which we'll have our hands full with these guys. They got 2 games under their belt, which will help them. They're scoring a bunch of points, replaced a lot of guys on defense, and they'll continue to get better on that side as well. So we'll be ready to go.
Dana, a follow then, since you touched on it, how shocking was that to get that call just a few hours before just less than a day before the game?
I don't remember, Mark. I told you we moved on and we're ready for North Texas. So I said what I said about that. Don't want to keep revisiting it because it doesn't matter. There's nothing we can do about it. So our focus 100% starting yesterday at 3:00 when the guys started to come up here was all about North Texas, so that's behind us. It's disappointing, but we've been disappointed before, and we've been ready to go, and we're going to stay ready to go is kind of just what we're about right now.
Got it. Up next, Joseph Duarte, Houston Chronicle. Joseph, go ahead.
Dana, as a staff, just looking at what y'all have had to kind of go through with, you prep for Baylor, you prep for Memphis. Did you do much prep either in the summer or spring for Rice? And the reason I asked, so this would make the 4th team, I believe, that you've had to prepare for and yet still haven't played a game. How's that been for your staff?
It's just what we do. I mean, like during the summer, we always, do our homework and try to get ahead on it a little bit. At the end of the day, it's about preparing 1 week for a game. I mean, that's what we got to do the majority of the time. So we're going to have a lot of the things kind of done from a breakdown, but that doesn't mean we're studying them. I mean, I don't study guys until it's game week. Now, GAs and quality control guys, those guys got to do their work and they got to get prepared for when we come in at 7 days before kick that we're ready to look at things and we have information and scouting reports done on them. So yeah, we had scouting reports and information on Rice and Washington State. Washington State kind of got canceled kind of early, but we're ready to go for Rice. Although I hadn't done anything with it, and then we started to get ready for Memphis a little bit, like 2 or 3 days, just because it was time to do that. So I got a file on those guys ready to go. And then we had a whole week for Baylor. Everybody made a big deal about it being, we only had 8 days to prepare. Well, hell, that's 2 games longer. That's 2 days more than the first 4 games that I had last year, and plus a couple other short weeks as well. So, we'll file that one probably in the trash can, and when we get ready for Memphis, we'll have a file that we can look back on. But like I said, all that's it doesn't matter. I mean, we're gonna get paid to do something. And so, I'm more worried about where we're at with North Texas right now than anything else. unfortunate those games weren't played, but it's 2020 and we're used to this crap. So we're going to get ready to go play North Texas.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right, up next, Ryan from Go Cougs. Ryan, go ahead.
Dana, do you have any desire to make up any of the postponed games?
I'll play any of those games if they fit within our schedule. You know, I mean, Rice is an important game for us. I mean, they got a trophy named after it and sitting in here and next to my office. But we'd love to play them. I mean, they're going to be on our schedule pretty much every year. You know, obviously we're counting on Memphis getting made up at some point here. That's a conference game that needs to be played. Our team is excited about playing Baylor. I mean, it just made sense. Southwest Conference, everything we talked about last Monday. Fans were excited. The players were excited. It's game one for both teams. We fit in the schedule would do it. But I think the one thing that we've all learned here in 2020 is you better get ready for some things to change. So we got 10 games on our schedule right now. We'll take the next one and, you know, try to line up and play that and then worry about who's next on the list.
Up next, Greg Bailey from ABC 13. Greg, go ahead.
Hey, Dana, we were able to talk to Pez on Friday, and he said emphatically, we will play football. We're going to find a way to get this done. How heartening is that for you? And then what will it mean to your kids to finally get out there when this does happen and you get to go play football together?
Well, we're ready to go. We've been ready. That's all I can say, man. You know, I mean, our team's been ready. We're healthy. We're in a good spot. We're prepared. We're eager. We're motivated. And, you know, I'm looking forward to playing this Saturday at 6. You know, ready to go. That's all I got to say.
All right. Anyone else have a question? Throw your hand up on the side for me. I can get you in. I know got a couple more minutes left with Coach. We can get a couple more in before we need to wrap up. Joseph, go ahead.
Yeah, Dana, what differences do you see with North Texas? Obviously, Mason Fine's not there, but what jumps out at you from their first 2 games?
A lot of scoring. You know, they're a lot of scoring. It looks to me like they're kind of searching a little bit defensively with some different things. You know, they got Clint Bowen. I got all the respect for in the world. He brought him in from Kansas. Was at Kansas for a long time. Is a really good defensive coordinator. So everything's new. It fits the bill as one of those deals where you get hired and you can't have a spring practice and you got COVID. You can't work with your guys and you're implementing a new system. So, you know, they're trying to catch up a little bit on defense. SMU looks really good on offense, by the way, and Houston Baptist looks really good on offense too. You know, and then, but you know, North Texas they're gonna score some points. You know, they're trying to replace, which was a pretty awesome quarterback and Fine. But they got some receivers that got some experience, and their system has been the same. Seth's been doing the same stuff there. He's, you know, had a little bit of turnover with coordinators and stuff, but Seth's an offensive guy that I've been around for a long time, and he's going to put a good offensive product out there. So there's been a lot of points, you know. But like I said, they're going to make vast improvements based on playing 2 games. That's an advantage for them. And I told our team this there last night. You know, we haven't had a live snap yet. They've had 2 games. So advantage North Texas. We need to be ready to go. But they you know, it's the same stuff they've been doing. And they move the ball well on offense. They got new coordinators at special teams and on defense that will continue to show improvement, especially having the luxury of playing 2 games.
Dana, if I could follow up, we talked to Joe Calton last week, and he mentioned about Giovanni Stewart was a guy that liked to hit and wanted to be in the combat zone. From your history with him at your previous stop, what is it about a guy like Giovanni and then being able to add him to your group in the secondary this season?
Yeah, he likes contact. He likes to be around the ball. You know, when he played at Katy, he played close to the ball. He was on the line of scrimmage a lot, you know, and raised a lot of hell. You know, had a lot of respect for him, which is why I signed him. Heck, he played linebacker for me for 2 years. So he's used to being a box player because he plays with great pad level and he's tough. You know, and likes the physical nature of the game. So anytime you can add a guy like that with with experience as much games as he's played in college, I think is going to make us better. You know, I mean, there's a culture aspect of it too. He loves the weight room. He does things right, gets good grades, comes from a great program here in Houston. So now my job is to recruit him to come back again next year. You know, so we'll get 2 grad years out of him. So good player though. You know, he fits in well with the guys. You know, used to being in the city and all that.
Next up, Mark Berman. Mark, go ahead.
Dana, I know we talked about this a little bit last week, but could you maybe go into a little more detail of why your program has been so incredibly successful within the UH's protocols, to where, like last week, y'all were 100% good, and so many other programs are having so many difficulties and you guys are not?
No, I hope you're not jinxing us right now, Mark.
Hope what?
You're not jinxing us.
Oh, right. My bad.
I just think that, you know, we've had our rough patch too. I mean, we went through, you know, June was really bad here in the city. You know, and we had some hiccups in June. I just think that was a learning process for us, you know, as far as, yeah, this is real and we need to do things a specific way. We've got really good, you know, doctor care. You know, we're blessed to have, you know, being close to the medical center, we've got really good doctors that are on our side that are giving us good advice, but our guys just understand how to do things. You know, and if we want to play, we got to keep doing it that way. We can't let our guard down. We can't relax. You know, guys got a routine that they follow, and it's been successful at that point, which is why we've been ready to go for 2-3 weeks. You know, the message to them on Friday when I had to send them home was, you know, proud of where they're at and what they're doing, you know, planning on playing. So if you guys want to, then we need to continue to do the things that we've been doing. So I think they're old and they're mature and they want to play. So we'll continue to do the right things.
You said last week you were 100% good. Is that still the case?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yep.
Got time for one more for Coach, and we'll wrap it up. Anybody got anything? All right. If we're good, we'll wrap it up there, guys. Media availability schedule for assistants and student athletes went out last night. If you have any questions, let me know. We'll send out an updated version of our game notes here shortly. So thanks again for jumping